Happy Friday, guys. We made it to the weekend. We're finally here. It's time for another video. Today we're reacting to how Woj and Shams ruined NBA media. Hope you're ready for the weekend. Hope we're all having a good one. If you're not watching this as the video is released, I hope you're having a good day, whatever day it is, wherever you are. Let's dive straight into this reaction. Let's go.
Adrian Wojnarowski and Charania are the only two NBA reporters that matter. So powerful, they each make more money than some NBA players. Woj, 54
That's
years
wild.
old, $7 million a year from ESPN. Shams, 29 years old, $2 million from The Athletic and FanDuel. But for that money, they have given up their entire lives. Shams sends around 500 texts and emails every day, averages 18 hours of screen time per day. That goes down to 12 hours on vacation. He has no plans to get married or have kids because it would interfere with his job. He loved to play basketball, but quit because he once missed a text. He doesn't drive anymore, so he can work in the back of an Uber. But Shams is still number 2 behind his old mentor, Woj. They used to be like...
That sounds like a sad life, doesn't it? You know what? Like, that's no way to live your life. There's no way to live your life at all.
Like Luke and Yoda, but now their rivalry has a dark side. Michael Jordan's agent, David Falk, was representing a center named Greg Monroe in 2015.
I remember
Several
Greg Monroe.
teams wanted him, but Monroe chose Milwaukee in free agency. So Falk called the Bucks owner to tell him the good news, but he asked to keep it quiet so he could respectfully call the other teams. Woj tweeted the story before their phone call was over. Falk said, "I was livid. How does a reporter have that kind of power?" Jimmy Butler's agent couldn't hide his anger. He saw a tweet from Shams that said that Jimmy was creating tension
I'm told there's been a very, very testy moments behind the scenes.
inside the Miami Heat, so he lashed out. "Shut the f*** up, you clickbait ambulance-chasing dirtbag piece of shit. No one told you this because this is not reality." Why was he that mad? Because one tweet from Woj or Shams can set a narrative that follows a player his entire career. If they say you're a locker room problem or a difficult teammate, that could become who you are. But even though people hate Woj and Shams, they will go to any length to get them information.
Okay, so let me know down below. I'm not that familiar with the work. I'm a casual NBA fan. I've tuned into games. I watched the Phoenix Suns versus Spurs before. You know, it is an enjoyable game. I'm not in and out of all the nuts and crannies of the NBA. I don't really know what's going on the inside here. Do you hate these guys? Why are they so bad?
Front offices have shrunk the number of people who have access to information to try to keep it away from Woj and Shams. One GM said he once had the IT department check an employee's email to see if he'd been leaking. Sure enough, he was emailing Woj team secrets. Why are people risking their jobs to help Woj and Shams?
He's that guy.
It's a secret that Woj discovered years earlier and taught Shams personally. But first, it is getting colder outside. I've got my trusty jacket.
My man's about to hit us with an ad, so I'm going to take this time here to skip forward a little bit until we get past. I don't know who is advertising, but I'm going to say cheers, guys. Happy Friday. I have a gaming channel, you know, right? It's called Jobbo, if you've not checked it out before while I'm scrolling through here. I could do an NBA career mode. I used to play NBA games a hell of a lot back in the day, but I've not played them in a while. If you guys want to see me jump on the new NBA game and start up a career mode or something, let me know down below and we can do that. It's about time we get the gaming channel back up and running. I did enjoy it. It's just quite a bit of work on top of working a full-time job, but we can make it work if you guys want to see it. Let's dive straight back into this video. Cheers.
Members FDIC. Eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply.
My man's still going.
Woj's first big national job was in 2006 at Yahoo Sports. Back then, the only way to break news was to put it on a website, and Woj became the #1 writer in the NBA because he got so many big scoops. He did this in 2 ways. First, he cultivated relationships with everyone. Woj would talk to the third coach on the bench or the junior front office guy. Then, when they became head coach or GM, he was their best friend. But he also crossed a line that most reporters would not. From 2008 to 2012, Woj didn't write one negative thing about the failing Detroit Pistons. At the same time, he broke every big Pistons story. Weird. So the NBA investigated and fined Detroit GM Joe Dumars $500,000 for leaking info to Woj. It looked like Woj was swapping positive coverage
wasn't even money
for juicy information. But when a source didn't cooperate, It was all-out war. Woj was partly responsible for the narrative that LeBron James was a choker and a loser. He wrote things like, "Who has the guts to tell LeBron that he sounds like an immature, self-absorbed brat?"
I'm not a man that advocates violence, but I don't know this guy, but he has a face that even I want to hit. I don't even know him, but look at his face. He has that kind of just like punch me face. Look at that smug smile.
Here's the problem for the Cavaliers and James: no one. But at the same time, Woj was the worst person for LeBron news. Got things wrong all the time. Was sloppy predicting his free agency. Coincidence? No. But it didn't matter because Woj's slimy methods worked. He was so successful in getting people to feed him information. When Twitter became a thing, Woj took off. Woj got a whole new level of power. He started tweeting out draft picks 2 minutes before they happened. That blew people's mind when Woj first did it in 2011. It was a level of reporting no one had ever seen. The only person...
He's like Fabrizio Romano, basically, in football, but the difference is everyone... Like, all the football fans love Fabrizio Romano. Like, he's the man. People love him. Here we go. He breaks stories before they're on Sky Sports News or wherever else you get your football news. He's basically that guy, but for some reason hated, whereas we love our version of this guy. But our guy's cool, you know. He's actually a cool guy.
Really challenge Woj at this point is Shams, who's so much like Woj, it's creepy. Like Woj, Shams was cut from his high school team but was obsessed with basketball, has an insane work ethic, and doesn't take no for an answer. When a blog told 17-year-old Shams he was too young to write, he got his parents' permission. When the Chicago Bulls said they wouldn't let a teenager cover their games, he made the 90-mile drive to the Bucks. Shams got so many speeding tickets driving to school on the way back from Milwaukee, he got his license suspended. Also, like Woj, Shams started small with his sources, but it led to his big break. All his first stories were about G League contracts or 10-day deals. No one cared about those, but it was a good way to curry favor with agents. Then one day in 2014, at 19 years old, Shams was watching a movie when he got an email. It was from Luol Deng's agent. To thank him for covering all of his smaller clients, the agent told Shams first Deng was getting traded from the Bulls to the Cavs. He had a huge rush of adrenaline as he posted the news, and other reporters were stunned. How did this teenager just beat us to a huge NBA story? Woj himself tweeted, "Big time story break by the best young reporter in the business at Shams Charania." He has since deleted that tweet, but people were calling Shams Mini Woj and he embraced it. So in 2016, Woj convinced Yahoo to hire Shams while he was a junior in college. Woj introduced him to the biggest agents and execs in the league and predicted Shams would one day be the biggest newsbreaker in the NBA. But just one...
Whose side are we on, guys? Are we Team Woj or Team Shams or Team Nobody? I don't understand. Do you guys not like these people? Like, if they're giving you news before it happens, then surely the average fan likes that, don't they? They like to know what's going on. They like the gossip. They like the rumors, unless they're constantly getting it wrong. But I don't know.
Later, Woj got
they're
a
being
job
painted in a
offer
bad
from
picture
ESPN.
Here. And this is all my information I'm
getting. It was a dream
getting.
come true, and he convinced them to hire his entire team. The plan was for Shams to finish out the 1 year left on his Yahoo contract, then sign at ESPN. But in that year, without Woj, Shams took off. His younger agent and front office sources were getting bigger jobs. He was suddenly competing for the biggest news in the league. It turned out being a rival to Woj was good for business. An ex-ESPN employee...
Being a rival to Woj is good for business. Woj! I don't like you, man. I do not like you. You have a punchable face. Let's have a boxing fight. Woj. We're rivals. I need my business boosting, Woj.
He says,
I don't like you, man.
Woj is so polarizing, it's an opening for Shams. If you don't like Woj, you talk to Shams. Woj is known for having sources among coaches and execs. Shams became known for agents and players like Kyrie Irving and James Harden. Now, they are the only two reporters that matter, and they use that power to get even more info. Teams will use them to get around tampering rules. A GM will tell Woj or Shams that they're interested in a player. That player will then hear about it and negotiate with the team.
Same in
Another
football.
GM said he's asked Woj which coach he should hire and how to not get fleeced on trades. Woj or Shams will say, oh, don't get levered up on player X. He's not going to get a new contract from his team anyway. They've even helped me avoid mistakes in terms of contract value or
wild,
assets
that level
in
of power,
trades.
though, isn't it?
But if you get on their bad side, you don't get access to that valuable information. So GMs are dying to do them a favor. One reporter who has now quit the business said he was on the phone with Suns GM Ryan McDonough to confirm information on a big scoop he worked hard for. McDonough said, yeah, let me check on that and I'll call you back. A few minutes later, Woj broke the story. Then the GM texted back to confirm the news, only after Woj got his scoop. But the problem with that kind of friendly relationship with the people you cover is us fans don't know what's really true. For example, when James Harden just ditched Sixers practice and is in Houston, all Shams tweeted was James Harden did not attend Sixers practice today and is away due to a personal matter. I guess that's true, but we have no idea if Shams is sugarcoating the report to protect his source, James Harden. What is actually going on? We don't know. Back in the day, reporters would give us the real story, no matter how ugly it was,
Okay, so
because
this
they
is why
weren't
people don't like
buddies
them.
with the people they're covering. Now, as long as they get that Woj bomb about where the guy's gonna go.
I mean, I guess it's on a different level, but you have like Ariel Helwani, don't you, in UFC or MMA in general, and he tries to stay away from becoming buddies with the fighters themselves because he likes to be as honest as possible. He's a reporter I genuinely respect. I'm a big fan of the UFC and I'm a big fan of Ariel Helwani, so much love to that guy. He does his job very well.
Free agency, all the rest is just propaganda BS. So we have to go to places like YouTube to get like actual information, even when the story is ugly. I was wondering what is going on with Kai Jones. He's had a really concerning episode recently where he got cut from his team, the Hornets. No one's picking him up. So I had a look at what is really going on with Kai Jones.
Okay, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy that. I do want to see your thoughts and opinions down in the comments, so don't be afraid to write me a little comment down there. I'll have a look at it maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Like I said, oh, my microphone just fell. Like I said, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Have a good one. I'll see you for the next video. Make sure you're subscribed. Take it easy. Peace.